Wooks and Warlocks contains sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and as such, listener discretion is advised. Your content warning can be found in the description.
Is the Pinball Wizard trying to play it cool after that tricky tussle? If it were up to me, I'd try to turn tail while there's still time, but Trace Keenos are made of tougher stuff than I. Looks like Big Ben's gonna get his package and the tricksters are gonna get a fat stack of bucks today in Wooks and Warlocks.
Hello and welcome to Wooks and Warlocks, a role-playing tour through the summer of love. In this podcast, we will be playing out a story of adventure and magic using dice and skills to determine the outcomes of our actions. My name is Trey Miller, and I will play the role of Game Master for this journey. I am joined by three of the finest folks to roll the dice. Please introduce yourselves and your characters.
My name is Xantor. I'll be playing Anthony Ryan.
My name is Jessie Bennett. I will be playing Granny Glinda. She's a half fox folk, half orc rogue.
My name is John Lombardi. I'll be playing Eli Woodstone, a elk folk farm wizard.
On our last adventure with Trace Keenos, the blast from the past landed in the summer of love. Our adventurers found themselves shrunken down, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style, inside of a pinball machine doing battle with the Pinball Wizard himself, manifested in the form of a token golem. After a pitched battle, the group nearly defeated, they were able to overcome the token golem and escape from the Pinball Wizard's dastardly trap. When they escaped, they found that the challenger whom they had come to gamble their money against, the challenger who had not spoken a word since arriving at the arcade 2 to 3 weeks prior, the challenger who was blindfolded and earmuffed, removed his blindfold, looked at the group, congratulated them on their victory, and offered to shake hand. We join our adventurers as the Pinball Wizard's hand waits. Good game, guys.
What kind of game is this, buddy?
He sort of wipes his brow, looks around. He's like, "Look, I think we need to do some talking, but this isn't really the time or place." And he's kind of whispering. He's trying to keep his cool. There's a lot of people around cheering, and he's gonna lean in close, like he's giving you daps. He's like, "No, seriously, good game. Go collect your winnings. Maybe we could. I'd love to talk about technique, stuff like that. You guys are great players. That was crazy." And you see the crowd around. It's like, "Wait, why is he talking? Has he been able to talk this whole time? I don't know what's going on. What? Hey guys, it's been great playing with you." And he just throws up his fingers in the Valley Jam V's that you remember from the party, and then he's going to walk off. You see that the lady who was running the counter before is cashing out her drawer, and there is a very short, even for a gnome, a very small individual who seems to be taking over for the teenager who was running the concession stand where you signed up for the challenge. You see that the Pinball Wizard is attempting to disappear into the bathroom.
Xantor, you better go get your gold, I think, or your bucks.
Yeah, I would chase after the wizard. I'm like, what do we see? What does like he kind of look like? Like we just popped out of this battle right last time, and we're kind of like getting back to normal. Is that where we're at?
He's younger.
Yeah,
And,
it's all happening very fast. This guy, he's seems to be in his late teens, early 20s. He roll for perception.
That'd be all of us.
Yeah, everybody.
I only got an 8.
Me too. I got a
11.
All right, so with your 11, Xantor, you would be the only one who would receive. You have a glint of recognition. You remember that when you were scanning the crowd at Jimmy Jam Jim Jam's marketplace in early when your quest had just began, when you were looking for someone to pickpocket and settle on Wheezy F Baby, you remember seeing someone who looked just like the Pinball Wizard standing in line in front of Elijah and Granny Glenda, and you remember seeing Elijah pick them up and move them to the back of the line so that Granny Glenda and Elijah could get in front of them.
All right, so he's like somewhat familiar to Xantor, and Xantor would tap Elijah on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, wasn't that the guy you tried to toss way back when? Let's go."
What do you mean? When? When are you talking about?
Back at the store, back at Jimmy Jams.
Like back in time?
Yes, back in and he would try to implore them to move and chase after this guy as they're having this conversation.
I mean, I didn't really see him. I'd kind of just like if.
It was him.
You had a better okay. I mean, you had a better view. I didn't really see him, but I did toss him, and he was small framed, so I guess it could be him.
He's like trying to get away. Xantor would be like trying to run after him towards the bathroom.
Granny Glenda's gonna follow.
You see that he has gone into the men's public restroom. There's a door that leads into the restroom. Do you all follow him into the restroom?
Yeah, Xantor runs and like kicks open the door behind him as fast as possible. Like
they ran off. They're quicker than me. I'm gonna say that I like held back. They were quick.
All right.
So them two went ahead.
He kicks open the door. He's like, "Where are you at, Pinball Wizard?"
You go to kick open the door and find that it opens outwards. So you're kind of yelling while you're kicking and are stopped mid-kick. Roll for athletics to see if you burst through the door.
All right. And I imagine he's like, tries to kick it. Like, where are you at? And then he's like, realizes what's going on. You said athletics?
Yeah, athletics.
Ooh, 7.
So yeah, you're stopped dead against the door, and you sort of fall backwards. Granny Glenda catches up.
It appears to be locked, Granny. I think he ran off and locked himself in there.
And Granny Glenda's gonna look Xantor dead in the eye and pull on the handle.
The door opens.
Trickery.
There is a man in the restroom washing his hands, and you see the Pinball Wizard kind of pacing in the back corner of the restroom. The man washing his hands looks up. "Can I help you?" And he's just washing his hands, and he is a bass fish person, and he has giant fish eyes that blink while he's washing his little fish hands. He looks straight into Granny Glenda's soul.
Oh, my bad, dearie. Have I stumbled into the wrong restroom?
The women's restroom's right over there. And he just keeps washing his hands and, like, lathering more soap on them.
Well, these old bones are just, I don't think they can make it that far. Perhaps I could just go ahead and use this bathroom while I'm here.
Roll for persuasion. He is washing his hands and blinking.
15.
All right, he blinks twice and lets the soap be washed off his hands. He does not dry them, and he walks out of the restroom. It is now just Granny Glenda, Xantor, and the Pinball Wizard in this restroom. Does Elijah follow at this point, or are you following slowly, or are you just staying behind in general?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll follow behind. And yeah.
So the group corners the Pinball Wizard in the restroom. Oh my God, you guys came. Okay, good. All right, check it out.
He wanted us to follow him.
I think he did, to the bathroom. What's up here, PBW?
What'd you call me?
The Pinball Wizard.
PBW.
Yeah.
My name's Tommy.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Tommy Dubes.
It's good to meet you too.
Zentor reeks out to take a handshake.
He reaches his hand out as well. He's like, God, it's good to see. I recognized you guys as soon as I took that blindfold off. You're from the past, like me, right? Right?
Well, yes, sir, that is true.
Oh, God, I thought, man, I sure was pissed when you guys cut in front of me in line. I'm not gonna lie, but a flash sale's a flash sale. You got to get it in where you can. Oh, but I was angry.
Technically, I did move you before we got to the line. We were just kind of all running towards the line.
Well, you know, fair's fair, but I was...
Who holds grudges from years in the past? Like, what?
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. And as he says this, you see his hands sprout fire and his eyes glow red for a moment. The flames erupt from his hands, and then he calms down. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say, and he's like shaking as he's like Zen. I'm not gonna lie, I did hold a little bit of a grudge. And when that time portal came and sucked us through, I made a pit stop along the way. I got sucked right into the realm of wrath.
The what?
Wrath.
The R of R.
The realm? I think it's a W, but...
Don't you?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know that, Elijah? Have you been studying?
I mean... I've come across some things mentioning realms, but as far as the realm of wrath goes, I'm not too sure.
It's listen, and he's just, you can see that Tommy is seething, and as it's like his veins start to burst out.
I'm gonna need you to take a breath.
I'm trying.
Tommy,
control yourself,
out, bro.
We're in an arcade.
We're trying to figure stuff out here.
We're having a good time.
As you guys like talk to him, you see he puts his hands on his head and just starts murmuring. He's like, no, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Calm. And you see him find a place of zen. Oh, when I was in the realm of wrath, I was cursed, forced to wear this blindfold that filled me with the power of the dark god of wrath. But I was forced to challenge whoever. When I arrived in this realm, the power had already coursed through me. I had let my anger grow too strong in the space between realms. I was so mad that you cut in front of me in line that I let the seed of wrath blossom. And you see that the blindfold that he was wearing is in his hands. He says, This item, I'm not sure what to do with it now, but I can't keep it. I think it can be cleansed. I think it can be used. But it is an item of great power for a wizard of a good heart. But for someone who is cursed by wrath, it was a vicious burden. And while I was in his realm, wrath bade me that I must wear this blindfold until I was beaten. I didn't know I had spawned in front of this godforsaken fucking pinball hell.
So you were trapped there, just having to challenge people over and over until we came?
When you wear the blindfold, you can't see. I mean, I know that, but you can't see. And I couldn't take it off. And I couldn't talk, and I couldn't hear. And all I could do was feel. And within, about 10 feet or so, I could feel the world around me. I could move, and I saw those machines, and I moved up to them, and I found the one, and it became a place of comfort. And as I played, I became stuck, glued. They started to I could feel them all gathering around me. I couldn't hear what they were saying. I couldn't see what they were doing, but I knew something was happening, so I stayed, waiting for someone to defeat me so that I could be freed from this curse of wrath. What fucking irony this, you guys. But
Yeah, we got you, Tommy.
Xantor was the one that was, actually playing and helped free you, but if you're looking for a wizard, I'm your man. I'll take that.
Oh, I
Looks like you're a wizard, too. You want to join our party and, help destroy the forces of darkness?
You see him, as you say that, he once again sees, there's nothing I would like more! And the fire comes out of his hands, and he's it's like a pyrotechnics, 1980s glam rock show. And then he's like, sorry guys, I really need to get control of myself, and honestly, as much as I'd love to go adventuring with you all, I'll hang out, but I don't know if I'm good in battle yet. I can't quite control myself, but I do need somebody to take this from me. And he reaches out to Elijah and he says, You're touched by the power. I can feel it. Take this.
He's touched, all right.
I'm not going to put this thing on until we get, maybe me and Owsley take a look at it. Try to figure out a way to cleanse it. I do not want to get trapped into another game or playing a game. Or let's just fucking go to this meeting and get out of this place.
Yeah, you want some dinner, Tommy? We can cook you up something back at camp if you want to, hang out and talk.
Listen, I'd love to. I don't imagine I'm going to make any other friends that are like us. This is some crazy shit. You'll have to catch me up on what's going on because, like I said, I've been deaf, dumb, and blind.
What time is it?
Since basically we left Jimmy Jim Jams.
Xantor looks at his wrist.
Does Xantor have a? Yeah,
Does he have a watch? He doesn't have a watch. He does have
roll for insight or insight. Maybe I'm sorry, perception maybe.
Ooh, dirty 20.
17.
Sure. So, Granny Glinda.
Natural 20.
Well, I'm glad we waited. So, Granny Glinda, you can remind everyone that the shift changeover was happening as you all dashed into the restroom.
Oh, the shift changeover was happening as we dashed to the restroom. We should probably go back and meet with that person.
And you got to collect your winnings.
Hell yeah. Come on, Tommy. Xantor, throws an arm around Tommy and tries to pull him out of the bathroom.
Cool. I'm cool with this. This is cool. Okay. And they walk out, and Tommy's, smiling. And Tommy is an average-looking everyman with medium-length brunette hair. He is wearing very neutral clothing. It seems like while he was standing there playing, people put a more modern jacket on him, but underneath he's wearing humble sackcloth. So not he's clearly not coming from a rich place. And you look down at his feet and see that he's wearing rope sandals. So Tommy is going to pull his borrowed jacket a little tighter around him as Xantor's arm wraps around him, and he's going to walk along kind of shuffling.
Xantor tries to pull him up to the bar wherever they're collecting winnings, and he tells Tommy, he's like, hey, Tommy, tell this lady I won, and we need our winnings.
So as you say that, you look up and realize that there is no lady there. There is only a 1.5 foot tall gnome on a stool.
He says, what do you mean, a lady? Is that some kind of comment about my size?
There was a lady here earlier, was there not?
I'll give you a pass on that one. All right, buddy. My name's Big Ben. What can I do for you? Is that the Pinball Wizard? Where the fuck's his stuff?
It is, and I'm a doctor, and I can... Let's figure this out here. I think we just won, and we need to have our winnings.
That's what I heard. So are you going to get this shithole out of here, or what?
After we're paid.
Granny, that's Big Ben. He said Big Ben. Isn't that who we're supposed to be meeting?
I believe it is, dearie, but let's wait a little bit for Tommy to get out of the way.
Yeah, was there some kind of prize for kicking Tommy's ass?
Oh, big time. You cook this guy's goose, you get $1,000. But what's he doing hanging with you now? Is he some friend of yours? Is this a setup? You setting us up? What do you guys think you're doing here?
And he's going to need you to roll for persuasion to convince him that this is not a setup. Or you could roll for deception if you prefer.
And I have advantage in deception.
Because you said you were a doctor.
Yes.
Is that everybody?
I think this is just Xantor.
Just
at this
Xantor,
point.
okay.
He's kind of.
I was like, man, I got +0 and all that.
Yeah, so I got 11.
Big Ben's looking at you very skeptically. He's not convinced that you're not telling the truth, but he thinks something is up because you are hanging out with the Pinball Wizard so closely, treating him as a friend.
Oh, dearie, Xantor just does that to everybody. You don't have to worry. I mean, I can't take him anywhere without him immediately falling in love and just putting his arms. I mean, there's so many arms. How could he not throw them all over everything?
All right, Granny, roll for persuasion.
That's gonna be 16.
All right, so with your 16, he looks at you. He says,
Well, you seem trustworthy.
and he kind of eyes you with his eyes become little slits, and he says,
Listen, as long as you're getting Tommy out of here, I don't give a fuck what's up. Now, can I help you with anything else?
and he starts counting out bucks on the counter. You see him first going with hundreds. He puts out $300 coins. Then he's going to put out you know what? I don't feel like doing this math. He does some various number of coins that equals up to $1,000, and you can visualize that as a 1.5 foot tall gnome man on a stool stacking coins to be roughly the height of himself, so that he is now hidden behind a wall of coins. You can see just his eyebrows and eyes and his little gnome hat above the stack of coins.
Take your money and go and get this hobo out of here. That was hobo, by the way, not hobo.
Huh?
Hobo, not homo.
So Xantor takes the money, gives $3.33 to each party member, and tosses a buck to Tommy.
Nice.
Tommy grabs it with hands that are not used to. He reacts. He can't. He's not used to being able to respond to the world around him. He's like a startled puppy.
He's like, and you, sir, you handsome little devil, you. What'd you say your name was again?
Big Ben. What do you want, to fight about it?
Nah, I think, do you happen to have the time, Big Ben?
9:05.
9:05. Awesome. So you
Wait, was it 10? Is that what time the rendezvous was?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to meet.
Sorry,
at
10:05.
Well, we might be about
Yes.
5 minutes late.
Yeah,
if you're catching my drift.
we have a rendezvous as well with...
With this person.
We were trapped in that game. I feel like it's been weeks. I don't really remember.
Xantor
Granny?
whispers to the party.
It has.
Why are we meeting this man?
We are meeting this man because of this. And then Granny Glenda is gonna expose her boobs and show the package
Whoa!
hidden inside her boobs.
So Big Ben's eyes go wide, and he's like,
God damn, Granny, that's right.
and he is so distracted by your exposed breasts that he does not realize that there is a package in between them, and then suddenly, like sort of like the sun cresting the horizon in the morning, bringing light to a grove in the forest, as you move and pull apart your ample breasts.
Just imagine like a little dust cloud, like the sunlight hitting the dust. Like an attic,
breasts, too, so they're hairy.
They're
I would
hairy,
imagine.
dusty old lady.
like an old attic is just getting exploration for the first
Fox
time in
orc.
years.
Fox orc.
Yeah.
So don't forget that she's half orc. So
Oh, so they're ample. They are.
they are ample.
Jacked. They're jacked.
Yeah.
So she parts her breasts, and the package comes out, and she hands it up. Do you hand it over to Big Ben, or does he have to reach for it?
Leans over.
No. She'll hand it over to him. He doesn't get to touch.
I'd sure like to touch.
Not you.
Oh, man. Is it because of my size?
No, dearie, that has nothing to do with it.
Is this deception or persuasion?
Persuasion.
Roll for persuasion. He's a powder keg.
Natural 20.
He is deflated. He was truly enamored with Granny Glenda. Of course, she did just expose her ample, furry, dusty breasts to him, and he's got his package. He says, I know
what to do with this. All right. Hey, you guys get out of here, okay? I don't want to see you no more. I don't want you around here.
And he is going to, he's kind of ushering you out. You have your money. Tommy is with you. Do you all head towards the door?
Yeah, I think so.
As you approach the door, you're surprised. Roll for perception.
I was gonna say, can I look around and I would make sure no one's like eyeballing us because we just cashed out a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So that's what I'm looking for.
I got a 6.
I got a 4.
I got a 9.
So you guys are very surprised when you go out. You see a vehicle pull up in front of the doors to the arcade. You're surprised, but you do recognize the vehicle. This is Gil's vehicle, and he's going to look at you, panic-stricken. Come on, guys, you got to get in. Come on, we got to go back now. And he is going to usher for you to get into the car. He says, I know it's a risk for me being here, but we got to get to the house.
I get in.
I'll get in. Be careful with my antlers.
Who the fuck's this guy?
This is Tommy. He's our buddy. He's got magic powers.
Magic powers? Like, I got magic powers.
Yeah, like us.
Cool.
Come on, Tommy.
He's going to be my protege.
Word. All right. Let's get going, okay? So he's revs the engine and drives. I hate to give you guys this news. Listen. Shit's happened, okay? Some things have transpired. The dames. I don't know if I can say it. I kind of just got to show you. And you see Gil is heartbroken, distraught. He is sweating. Pedal to the metal. He is driving as fast as he can to get out of Yamaya city proper and back to the bungalows.
Did you kill the horse, Gil?
Did I kill the fucking horse?
Well, all of them except Penny Lane, of course.
I didn't kill anyone. Listen, okay, so all right.
Did you put him to... Never mind.
So I'm pretty sure... Don't look at me like that, Glinda.
Do we have rugs?
Gil is just gonna put his hand to his face. He's like, I didn't want to come to this. We're supposed to be the good guys.
No news is bad news. What's going on, Gil?
Listen, something happened while you were gone, okay? Something happened, and it's not good. All right? It's not good. We were trying to keep them from going out and doing whatever they were doing. You know, it seemed like...
Were they still trying to sell their bodies?
That's what it's like.
They're programmed.
Like as soon as they woke back up, they were just like, "Hi,
flinging it.
Would you like to get some of this ass?" That's all they say. So we locked them in. We started talking to them. We convinced some of them that it was a bad idea, and they agreed. They weren't going to do it. And it was like as soon as they agreed, oh God, they started screaming. Then, one by one, we saved Penny Lane. But I don't know. Come on, we gotta go back. And he's just gonna rush back to the house. You guys get back and you see that Tree and Sarah are sort of pacing back and forth outside. King Kenzie is just light is coming from the rooms where Penny Lane was kept, and you just see in the windows, you see King Kenzie using clerical magic to sustain Penny's life. You see Harry just sobbing, like sitting on the stoop, like, I was supposed to help the dames. This was what I was supposed to do. And you just see, like, in some sort of horrid contrast, like 8 or 9 dames in the other buildings, just like, hey, hot stuff, how you doing? hey, hot stuff, like so caught in their loop that they're propositioning one another. Do you approach the room where Penny Lane is?
Yeah. Granny Glenda does.
So, Granny goes first and opens the door, and it is like a scene from the hit TV show Dexter. There are...
Laboratory?
Not the laboratory.
The murder scene.
So there are tapestries about the room where you can see that the Powder Rangers attempted to obscure what was happening. There are pools of blood. There's attempts made to clean, but it looks like 3 of the dames just died agonizing, horrid deaths. Their faces twisted beyond recognition, blood pouring from their ears and eyes.
What the hell did this?
Oh, if I had to say so. Owsley, sitting in a corner. This is the result of some sort of psychic attack. I believe that whatever foul magic user cursed these women and men, these dames. Whatever foul user did that, they gave them some sort of obligation to a certain task, and when they acted of their own will against that task, it was as though their own life was taken from them, their very souls ripped from their bodies. Oh, I've never seen something so horrid.
It was that damn snake lady.
They had them like programmed in like a kill switch kind of?
I suppose so. As soon as they came to, they just die.
That's horrible.
It seems as though, as long as we allow them to continue what they were doing, they're okay. King Kenzie...
What? Do not speak my name. I can speak for myself. I will keep her alive as long as I can. I must find a way to remove this curse.
And you just see King Kenzie is using every ounce of his clerical power to attempt to keep her alive, to attempt to find a way to re-energize and reinvigorate this lifeless Penny Lane. She is not dead, but she's just comatose. She's knocked out, and King Kenzie focuses. He says,
The best we can do at this point is prepare. We must get rid of the evidence. We have 1 week before this burn. We will show them.
Well, fire's the only thing that's gonna get rid of this evidence, I think.
I gotta get to work, do some studying, figure out what the hell this blindfold is. Owsley, I got something you need to take a look at.
Woohoo! One thing at a time, Elijah. We've got to get rid of the bodies first.
Oh yeah, not right now. I just mean over the next week or so.
Oh yes, of course.
Xantor, you always want to catch the buildings on fire. Now's your chance.
Xantor's like, he's kind of like, he hears Granny and like kind of chuckles at that because he's psyched for whatever they're talking about in there. But he's like getting out of the car and going up to the detective guy, the PI guy. He's like, just checking on him, making sure he's okay. He wants to get the press. This guy has a bullet press that Xantor really, really wants that he got at the biker den. And he, as long as he sees Granny and Elijah going towards the dames, he's like, all right, they got everything under control. Sees the light magic coming from King. He's like, yeah, it's all good. He's like, he figures it's all good, and the dames are just the same. He's kind of
all right. This works. So this is going to be another one of those episodes where everybody's going to level up a little bit, and we'll see this week pass from each individual's perspective. So we've got Xantor heading over to Harry Frill's, hoping to connect with him in whatever ways you hope for. Granny Glenda is seeing to the destruction and dispersion of the bodies, and moving forward with whatever mad schemes she may hatch. And Elijah Woodstone is immediately jumping into study of the Pinball Wizard's blindfold with the help of Tommy and Owlsley and the Wizard Artificer Gil. Xantor, as is customary, we will begin with you. You're starting your week off approaching...
Harry.
Hey.
Harry.
Xantor.
How you doing, buddy? I noticed you were a little...
Man, I ain't no good.
Tearier than usual.
A little tearier than usual. You ain't never seen me cry.
I've never seen you cry. That's what I'm saying. It's like these dames really mean a lot to you, huh?
I left everything, right? I left the force so I could help the dames, and here I am. I'm the cause of the death of 3 dames.
Seeing their faces melt and stuff.
It was fucking awful, man. You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know. I saw the residue.
I'm sorry. I'm a little defensive.
I mean, it seemed like their heads literally exploded. What the
wasn't that
double
bad.
hockey sticks
It was like the
happened
inside
over
of
here?
their heads
I left
exploded.
you to keep them safe, and they're dying.
Oh
on
my
your watch.
God! Really?
I'm
Really?
just saying. During this,
Xantor, what the fuck you come over here for?
he's trying to do a sleight of hand to steal that fucking press. Can you do that real quick?
Sure. Go ahead. Slide of the hand.
Get in there with your little
17. Because he's like patting him on the back, and he's like, blah blah blah, and he's sneaking in these quips to kind of get his attention drawn.
All right. So, Harry rolls a 12.
So
and
he
doesn't notice.
Takes that 6 in his back pocket. And Xantor figures he's not gonna, he's concerned about the dames and everything. So as soon as he gets the thing, he's like, "Yeah, Harry. I mean, I know you're doing all you can, bud. We're really gonna work together on this, and just get through it. We're gonna save the rest of the dames. You saved Penny. He totally switches up and starts being very congratulatory and, consolatory. And
Roll for deception to see if, and you get advantage because you're wearing your suit.
Ooh, natty 20.
So yeah, Harry's is like, Xantor has never been a better friend than you, I guess. Thanks for trying to cheer me up. It's just been tough. I'm glad your girl Penny's safe. And, she wasn't one of my original dames, but she's a good gal, and she didn't deserve none of this, Nita. And truth be told, God, my heart breaks. My heart breaks. But it's part of it. People die, people live. We still saved some of them.
Facts.
I got fate. Somebody's going to figure out how to remove them curses. We got some time.
We just met this dude, Tommy. Tommy's cool. Have you met Tommy? He's like, he's awesome. We're doing all right. We're making steps in the right direction.
That guy looks like the Pinball Wizard from down at the arcade. Fucking weirdo.
Weirdos can do things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess
Weird things.
I guess so. Xantor, you're a good bud. Hey, listen, I've been thinking for a while. You're a gunman. I'm a gunman. I've been wanting to give you this bullet press that I got. I thought you could use it. I knew it. You didn't really understand what it was. You thought it was some kind of a weird sex toy, and I just...
You took that thing?
Well, yeah, because what it is the way it works is it's basically got a funnel on the top. Well, here, let me just show you. And he's going to reach into his packet and try to get it, and it's not... Hold on.
What you got?
Where'd it go?
What you got there, Thrills?
I got nothing. Somebody done pickpocketed me.
For the sex toy. Lovely.
It's not a sex toy, Xantor. That thing was a bullet press.
A what?
Listen.
Hold on. I got that thing. That's on. Hold on. I got it. He pulls out his ammo recipe and he starts looking it over. And number 1 says bullet press. He's like, oh yeah, I needed one of those. Is that what that thing was? I had no idea.
Xantor, somebody took it. I was gonna give it to you.
It's a dangerous world, Harry. It's rough out here, buddy. We got you.
Listen, if you ever find another one, let me tell you, this is how you use it, okay?
All right.
It seems like it's a little magical. I was messing with it. It doesn't have a power source, but it takes whatever material you put into it, and it's gonna melt it down. All right, it's going to melt it down, and then it's going to make inside of its little chambers. It's got that lever. You pull the lever one way and then jerk it on down, and it's going to take that melted material and make bullets for you.
Well, if I come across one, that information will come in handy. What kind of material? Just any material?
Well, the quality of your bullet's going to depend on the material you use. Like let's say you put your regular old metas in there and all that. That's going to make you some regular old slugs. It's going to do the normal damage. But, let's say you found a grenade and you put it in there. Well, that's going to make you an exploding shell. Let's say you found, some oil that might make some binding shells. let's say you put glass in there. Who knows? You know, I'm not a magic user myself. I was going to experiment with it with you. It's going to be a real good bonding point for us as characters, but somebody done pickpocketed it, so I guess I'm just going to go fade into obscurity.
Man, it'll be okay, Harry. You don't happen to have any of that, like grenades or glass or anything like that on you, just in case I come across one of these things.
Hey, that's all I have.
I probably never will. They seem kind of weird, and I'm probably going to forget everything you just said. So
Listen.
But, you know, you're great, and you did what you could for the dames. I mean, you only, how many? We lost 3, 4?
Only 3.
Not all.
Well, you know, your girl, Penny Lane, is on the verge. If she goes, it'll be 4, but...
Penny Lane, yeah. We got her, I think. Thanks, Harry. And he, like, pats him on the back and, like, tries to walk away from the conversation.
Hey, Xantor, he calls out to you as you're walking away.
Yeah, buddy.
Says you're a real good friend.
You too, Harry. We'll see each other again, bud.
All right, so...
Xantor's like, fucking sucker.
As you look around, Granny Glenda is dealing with the bodies in whatever way she said she was going to, and you see that Elijah and the boys are running off to the lab. How will Xantor proceed into his week of preparation?
Yeah, so he, like, skirts off to his little tent, you know, to pull out his newly stolen goods and figure out how to work it, and, you know, gets different materials. He's trying to, you know, he tests it out. He's throwing rocks in there. He's throwing, like, sticks in there. He finds pieces of metal, and he, you know, finds different little stones, and so he's basically just trying to, with rocks and metal at this point. Any little rocks and metal he could find laying around.
So you find, like, you're putting all this stuff in, and it is not very immediate. You find that you're able to fill it up, and as you start putting things in, it begins to reject certain things. So what did you put in first? You put in
rocks and dirt.
So it accepts the rocks and shoots the dirt out and shoots the sticks out. You find that there is like a hopper on the top that you can open, and the hopper is about a quarter full of stones in its current place, and you notice that nothing's really happening with the bullet press as you try to do the levers.
So he takes the rocks out and puts in metal shards.
Do you have any metal shards?
Yeah, I'm sure he could find some laying around the building.
You're gonna like go look for enough little bits of metal to fill the hopper?
Yeah.
All right, so once it becomes full, you notice a warmth come from the machine as it begins to magically melt the material.
I could actually help him. I could probably turn them stones into metal for him.
That would be very useful. You're so we'll say you like come up from the laboratory, and
just at some point during
sure.
You know, at some point during the week, I saw he was trying to, you know, looking for metal shavings and stuff, and then I just help him. I'll turn them.
Well, this is still the same first night. Okay. So yeah, you can totally. You don't have to just be in the lab the whole time, but you'll pop out and turn some stone into metal, making for enough metal to finish off the hopper. It fills up, it energizes, and you find that you are able to produce one shell or one slug every 12 hours. So if you are diligent, you can spend, or if you have the help of someone like Elijah who can transmute material, you can produce 2 shots per day, which would lead us into the Burn Fam Beach Jam with 14 slugs.
So also, he knows that this thing could probably make the bullets for Glenda's gun. That's
true. Would you prefer to make some bullets for Granny Glenda as well?
Well, Xantor would take probably 10 or 8 shells, and then does Granny have any bullets currently?
Let's see. I think Granny has
Wait, did you
2 bullets left.
No, you shot all of your...
Oh, that's right.
Somebody unloaded
and you unloaded, so you got
it.
none.
I have 0.
So I'll do 8. Is it the same? Is there like 2 bullets per shell, or is there any kind of?
No, it's all the same.
Okay. So 6 and 6. What's in bullets?
Well, you got 14, so.
Oh, okay. So I'll do 8 and 6.
Yeah.
I'll do 8 shells, 6 bullets.
That sounds good.
Nice.
And if you have any items that could make specialty bullets, we can always talk about that. Like if you wanted to sacrifice one of your, like for armor piercing rounds, I know you guys have the like some replica items from early on and stuff like that. Like if you wanted to turn a weapon into a bullet, things like that could happen. So feel free to think outside the box, and we can make some fun, clever munitions with our bullet producing item. And apparently you'll always at least have metal. I was going to have this whole thing for wooden bullets or like basic bullets, but well, I mean, it is cool, except that we have a transmutation specialist in the party.
We got any kind of bullets.
Just going to make crazy badass platinum.
You can fire gold into somebody's chest.
Zentor's like getting into oils and shit. Like he got that lemongrass oil and that cedar oil. And
he's gonna make a lemongrass bullet?
moonshine and stuff. He's kind of becoming a liquid person. So he might like start trying to pour different liquids into it. A couple sessions for after, because this first week he's just trying to perfect the bullets. And that being said, he's also like kind of put Drake to the side and having Drake like sit down and kind of just be like, all right, time for you to watch Papa be a badass. And he's like really starts training with his crossbow, training with his gun. He's like, you know, dun, 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 the whole like cutscene where he's just like shooting the crossbow over and over and over again. Gets real good at that. So good, in fact, he can take extra shots. He becomes more of a fighter. He's like punching the trees and shit. And he gets like the second wind ability that gives him healing and extra punches and stuff. And he's like really becoming like okay, I'm not just Xantor, a friend of the forest, friend of the animals. He's like Xantor, the hitman. He's got his new suit and he's feeling really deadly. And so that's what he's been focusing on for the last week or so.
Granny's rubbing off on him.
So Xantor, as you become more comfortable with yourself and with your surroundings, you begin to accept who you are and who you're becoming in the year 1969 in the land of Lund. You take 2 levels up and become a level 2 fighter alongside your 5 levels in Drake Warden Ranger. With your new abilities, you find yourself prepared and ready to rock as time moves forward towards the Burnfam Beach Jam, where you will face down with the twin snakes of love and lust in an attempt to prevent Pride from entering into the Burnfam and to rescue Parker's ashes for Granny Glenda. Do you want to do any shopping before we move on to the perspective of our other characters?
No, the only shopping Xantor will do is as Xantor was like reminiscing in his book, he like gets to the point where he's like looking back on the ammo recipe and when he got this, and he's like, oh yeah, Granny loaned me $100 for this thing back in the day, and he like goes back and pays her that $100 back.
Why, thank you, Xantor.
Yeah, and the bullets. So that's when he hands her the bullets, too. And he's like, here you go. I really appreciate getting into this. Apparently, this whole fucking sex toy thing, I thought, is not. It's fucking Harry Thrills didn't have a clue. This
I mean,
it's awesome. It makes bullets.
It could have multiple uses, dearie.
Look at him paying his debts, and giving gifts. Xantor is coming a long way, man.
Yeah, Xantor backs out of the tent slowly. There you go. Bullets and money.
After a good week of training, paying debts, and preparation, Xantor is ready for the Burnfam Beach Jam. We go back to that terrifying night when the psychic magic caused the dames to so terribly lose their lives. We take to that night from the perspective of Granny Glenda, the half foxfolk, half orc assassin.
Okay, so Granny Glinda's gonna go up to Gil first and kind of tell him to remove any possessions that he wants out of the house, to make sure,
You're really taking charge here, Glinda. I mean, I don't really have a lot of. Is this something you're used to? I've not done this before.
Don't ask questions, dearie. Just do what I say, and we need to get this done fast.
Okay. I've got a lot of personal effects in here that I like. Well, I don't know. This is just one of the guest bungalows, and you see him go to a corner and open a little safe that was hidden in the walls and pull out a pistol. He pulls out like a combat knife, and he pulls out a stack of about $10,000 in the form of gold bars. And he says, there's always money in the bungalows. That's what they say. So I just keep it here, and we're ready to rock it anyway. By the way, any one of these houses has one of these. The code for the safe is 69420. So, if you end up needing anything, but don't take it unless it's an emergency. This is communal funds. We look out for each other here. And then he is going to go and take it and stash the money somewhere else in the laboratory alongside while he goes and works with Elijah. He has removed anything of value from the house, and you see King Kenzie carry Penny Lane. We'll take her to a different bungalow. I believe I'm nearly to a breakthrough. I feel that I may be about to be able to remove this curse. And you just see him channeling all the divine energy he can as he carries her. It's a divine partying energy, as he is a cleric of Festivius.
Good idea, dearie. She's gonna go up to some of the other powder rangers and ask them how often they have giant bonfires, and if they don't have them often, can they hide the fire from the...
Oh, we're totally into bonfires. Sarah's starts dancing automatically. She's like, this is cool. Yeah, we're burners. This is normal for us. Are you gonna burn this bungalow?
Yes, dearie. We have to get rid of that evidence.
Oh my. Well, we're gonna need to... And you see Sarah kind of scratching her head. She's like, well, let me get the others. And you see the Tree and Chad all work together to use their wizarding magics to douse the bungalows around. And they begin to add kindling to the base of the house and in preparation of the burning.
And so the last thing, she's going to go up to Harry and, oh dear, I know that you had such a sweet connection to these ladies. Would you like to say some last words for them?
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I don't know if I got it in me, but it would be wrong of me to turn it down.
All right, and you see him take his hat off of his head and sort of clutch it to his chest, and he's looking at the building. He says, you gonna go ahead and light it up?
Yeah, Granny Glinda tosses a match.
These dames was everything to me. They might not have known me, nor did I know them personally or individually, or ever did I interact with them in any way other than hypothetically. But I believe in the honor of these dames and what they did, and it's a shame to see them go out like this, especially while these companions are over there still offering themselves to anybody who's what haves them. And the truth is, I ain't never been one good for words, so I'm just gonna pour one out for you, dames. And he takes his drink and pours it out and says, I ain't never gonna forget you. We're gonna kill that snake woman.
Granny gives him some rubs.
Where do you rubbing me?
On the back.
He says, I kind of like you, Granny Glinda. You're not so bad, you know. Maybe in another world, somebody like me, somebody like you, we could be together, you know.
Wow, dearie. I mean, why not this world?
I'm so overwhelmed with heartbreak for these anonymous prostitutes.
I understand. I mean, it's probably a bad time. They were just in a bloody pile and now they're on fire. You know, I don't really have good timing here.
I don't want to associate you with those things, but if that's what you're into, I mean, I can't help it. Granny Glinda, I think I'm in love with yous.
Oh my god. No, that's too far, dearie.
I'm sorry. I got caught up in the moment. I thought you wanted to have like a pyromaniac post-murder sex thing, and I was like, maybe that's love. Maybe that is what love is. Who knows?
I mean, we can try it, but just don't tell me you love me.
Should we take it slower than that?
I think so.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll hang around the party for the rest of the adventure. And he's just going to look towards Xantor and just be like, I'm glad I made such good friends with your buddy Xantor. He seems like a good dude.
He really is something special.
He's going to put his arms around you and watch the prostitute fire.
Oh, yeah. This is the most romantic date I've ever had in my entire life.
I don't know what to say because you said I couldn't say I love you, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And he's just going to watch the smoke carry into the night, and maybe we'll leave them there for that evening as the week unfolds. Granny Glinda receives the gift of ammunition from her friend Xantor. You're able to spend some time hanging out with Harry Frills, getting morning coffee, and monitoring the other prostitutes. How else does Granny Glinda spend her time this week preparing for the Burn Fam Beach Jam?
Well, like Xantor, she's also going to be doing training, but her training is a little different. Like, she's training on moving fast through the woods and the ground without being seen, and like running up trees without making sounds, and just being as quiet and fast moving as possible. And she gains 2 levels in fighter from that. And also, she wants to go shopping for some new daggers.
Oh boy!
Or new sewing needles.
So, if you recall, you remember that Gil recommended the mall sword store at the Yamaya Mall. There was a mall katana store where people were surprised to find items of magical power were manifesting. Does Granny Glinda decide to go to that store?
Yeah, she'll check it out.
All right, so Granny Glinda arrives at the Yamaya Mall, and although you have spent some time traveling through downtown Yamaya and you've seen tall skyscrapers, this is a giant building, but more squat and dense, filled to the brim with people. Granny Glinda approaches, and there are thousands of folks milling about, going in and out of stores, brightly colored, brightly lit. As you walk into the mall, a breeze of fresh, conditioned air hits you, and smells from a court of food assail your senses. In front of you is a map.
Oh goodness, this is a little overwhelming, but let's try to figure it out. So I'm gonna check out the map and see if I can figure out where the sword store is. What would that be? Perception or something?
Yep. Roll for perception. So with your 18, Granny Glinda's trained assassin eyes quickly decipher the script, find the key, identify the Mall Katana Depot, and see it glyphed on the map. It is straight ahead to the left and then to the right.
And she's gonna make her way to that direction.
As you approach, a man with bucked teeth, glasses, and a large beaver tail looks at you. His black tank top accented by his black gloves. He makes eye contact. Well, hello there. Are you here for some swords?
I'm looking for something a little bit smaller than that.
Oh, into the speed, are you? Well, I think I've got something that would fit your need.
And he is going to turn around, and he pulls out a giant butcher's knife, like a comically large butcher's knife, maybe 2 foot tall by 1 foot wide. And he says,
Is this what you're looking for?
Do you have anything like this? And she's going to take out her sewing needles and show him what they look like.
There's no way.
and he says,
My grandmother, she gave me 3 sets of needles like those. She told me to keep them in the shop. Here's what I have.
and he turns around and he says, things have changed in these last few weeks. I suppose it's been about a month now. And he puts them before you. He says, I've done some experimenting, and, well, you have some options. This one, and he points to a dagger in front of you, or to the needles, a pair of needles in front of you. These are +1/+1. Or, I'm sorry, I've been playing too much Magic the Gathering. These are +1 daggers. Needles. If you go for this pair, and the first set made of black metal, the middle set made of shiny platinum. These, they seem to be a bit sharper than the others. I've heard folks call them keen. These daggers will make it so that... and then he explains something complicated and interesting and intuitive that is a real-world example for your critical threat range increases to 19 to 20. So you land a critical hit 1 lower than whatever your current critical hit threshold is. Nice. If you choose those. The third option... And he shows, these are needles that for some reason are jagged, like they have like teeth on them, maybe for holding multiple pieces of thread or something. It's hard to say exactly, but these are vicious. And he begins to explain how one might use them in a way that would cause you to deal on a critical hit an additional 7 damage. So if you did get a critical hit with your vicious ones, so you can choose any of these. I'm loath to separate the sets. So if you want, if you're trying to get mix and match, you're going to have to buy the whole set of both.
Well, how much are all these sets?
You want all of them?
I mean, just tell me, the prices.
Oh, they're all the same price, $400 each. How much money does Granny Glinda have?
1,100.
I can throw you some money if you want to give.
I suppose I could also ask Gil.
Oh yeah.
What do you wait, hold on, with Gil. Wow. Okay, you got to calibrate Gil with a good wow. Like, wow. So what do you want from me? Do you want money?
I mean, maybe to help us get better materials for our fights coming up. I could use...
I've already given you a lot of money. What do I get out of this?
I got rid of all of that evidence for you, sweetie pie.
You brought that evidence here.
I was helping the Danes. You wanted that.
Well,
we got rid of your rivals.
All right. I already gave you money for that. The whole thing was I didn't want you feeling like... Roll for persuasion.
26.
Wow. So he's just sitting there like,
throws money at
you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. What is money anyways? Here you go. And he's going to give you, how much money do you want?
Just 200.
You can have 200. Here's $200. Fuck it. He says, and then he disappears back into whatever hole he was in here by the shop.
You got 3 sets of needles?
Yeah, I'm going to get them all.
30.
All right. And just to clarify for the sake of gaming purposes, you could mix and match and stack those. So like The 2 vicious daggers would each on hit would each add the bonus, or if you had 2 daggers that lowered the critical hit threshold, you would be down 2 points rather
But you
than
can't
just
hold,
one.
Can I have like a keen dagger and a vicious dagger?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
but not like 2 in one hand.
Correct. You cannot dual wield in one hand.
Just hold all 3. He's got 6 of them. Ah!
You can throw them because they have the thrown weapon property. Any of the things that apply to hitting with them also apply to throwing them.
That's cool.
You will need to retrieve them
Yeah, you can-
afterwards,
Yeah.
but you have a tremendous number of them now. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're gonna have markers with your daggers just
And,
laying around. so you
it
remember
occurs
pick
to
'em
me
up.
that Gil is an artificer and could turn one of them into a returning dagger. You know, I saw you were buying all those needles, and you borrowed that money from me, whatever. But I've got this skill; I can turn it into a returning dagger if it would help, But only one of them.
Okay, dearie, why don't we do that one to the... I'm gonna pick the vicious dagger.
All right, so it's going to get +1, and it's going to be returning.
Nice.
All right, so and only one of them is +1. So you have 2 +1 daggers, needles, 2 vicious needles, one of them being a +1 vicious needle, and you have 2 keen ones that lower your critical hit threshold when equipped. Your week is filled with strength building exercises, stamina endurance runs, agility, growth. As you focus on building yourself, you gain 2 levels as a fighter on top of your 5 levels as an assassin. And you spend some time shopping so you are ready to move into the Burnfam Beach Jam with strength. We go back to the beginning of the week as Elijah Woodstone gathers the wizards of the bungalows to analyze the Pinball Wizard's blindfold to see what curses might remain inside of it.
Y'all, whatever you do, don't put this thing on until we figure out what it is, but we need to do
Oh,
that.
I'm kind of tempted. It seems like it might be a good time. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I don't know what we'd have to do to get it off you, man. I don't want to have to kill you.
Yeah, so why did I just create a scene where I have to voice 3 people and there's only one? So the 3 people that go down into the laboratory with Elijah.
It could just be Owsley, helping me out.
The other guys are here, but they won't talk very much. They're too busy doing wizard shit.
And so there, you see Tommy and Gil just doing, like there's sparks and there's like somebody gets a blowtorch out for some reason and then sparks it with like magical energy, and they're like it's like they try to mess with the blindfold. Seems to be like resistant to damage. You can't destroy it. You can't do it. But as you study, roll for Arcana.
Alright. I believe that is a 17.
All right, so with your 17, you recognize that whatever curse was on this item was manifested not by the item, but by Wrath itself. So it seems like although there is some sort of a connection to Wrath, you can feel like some sort of dark strength coming from this. The curse of the object itself isn't active. You begin to sense its magical abilities, what it is truly capable of. Owlsley, Gil, and Tommy all sharing the knowledge of what they discover with you as you meditate and become attuned to this object. You learn that while attuned and wearing this blindfold, you can concentrate on up to 3 spells at a time. The item can be equipped as a bonus action. You could wear it around your neck and put it over your eyes or keep it in your pocket and put it on as a bonus action while wearing this item. You are blinded, but you have tremor sense for 10 feet. Do you know what tremor sense is?
I guess, like,
You could kind of assume.
Yeah.
For the listeners at home, if you're familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender, the perfect reference for tremor sense is Toph. She's a blind girl who can see the world through the earth. So whatever you can touch, you can see through, and that explains why the Pinball Wizard was able to play pinball even though he was blinded. He was seeing in a more detailed way than anyone else.
like Daredevil.
Like Daredevil, that's another great example, yeah, but less echolocation, more it has to be connected to the earth.
And within 10 feet only.
And within 10 feet only. While concentrating on 2 spells while wearing the blindfold, you become deaf. While concentrating on 3 spells while wearing the blindfold, you are rendered silent. If you fail a concentration check for any one of these spells, you fail all 3 of your spells. So what you ascertain with Tommy is that essentially Wrath was forcing, because of Tommy's weaknesses, because of Tommy's weakness of character, Wrath was able to channel through him 3 spells at once, forcing surrounding people to be enthralled in his performance, shrinking down the party, and summoning a token golem to fight, causing Tommy to be deaf, dumb, and blind at all times. But you realize that as long as you do not succumb to the forces of wrath that dominate the evil of this world, then you cannot be forced to use the blindfold.
So I have to be, like, so if I use it, am I rolling some sort of, like, saves to prevent myself from being, like, corrupted?
No, it's only if you become corrupted as a character, like if Elijah begins to make decisions that are more angry, this you don't have to roll. This will be something that will be imposed on you if Elijah
just happens if he uses
like,
it.
Yeah, like if you start slamming your horns into somebody who's not really that bad, something like that. Then
Gotcha.
if you act outside of your alignment,
Gotcha.
sort of scenario.
Cool. That's awesome.
But for now, it is that item that you could use in that way, and it will cause you to, if you wear it, you're blind. If you concentrate on 2 spells, you're deaf.
Yeah.
If you concentrate on 3 spells, you're silenced.
Okay. Cool.
So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna hold on to that thing.
it takes, and you're now attuned to it. It's one of the items that you're attuned to, so you can use it.
Nice.
That whole process takes about 12 hours, and the wizards emerge from the lab. Gil's, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, guys. I'm really tired. Woohoo, me too. I am very sleepy. Owsley goes to the van and curls up in the back. Hey guys, yeah, I guess that was fun doing wizard shit, right? And Tommy's gonna try to fist bump Elijah. Do you want a fist bump?
Oh yeah, I'll give him a fist bump.
He left him hanging for a minute. He was like, "Oh, okay, cool, we're cool. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna go to bed." And all the wizards go to bed. You have a week to prepare for the coming Burnfam Beach Jam. How do you prepare for your coming battle with the forces of love and lust?
Well, that night I go to sleep and have a bit of a dream that it's kind of me sitting on the ground playing with a bunch of rocks that have like symbols on them. And the symbols, like, when I touch each one, it kind of like I get a vision. And basically, it's like I'm gaining an ability to create a transmuter stone.
Nice.
What
does that do?
One of my levels. Basically, I can spend 8 hours creating the stone, and me or whoever's holding the stone gains the benefit that I attach to it. And I can do several things. Like one of the symbols allows me dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. Another one I can make to increase the speed of a creature by 10 feet when it's unencumbered. One I could make and have them become proficient in Constitution saving throws. And I can even make one to resist acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage.
Cool. How many of these can you make?
You can only make one at a time. and I can give it to if I'm holding it every time I cast a transmutation spell at a first level or above, I can change what the stone does if I'm holding it. But if somebody else is holding it, I'll have to like get them to give it to me back before I can change it to anything.
Awesome.
And when I wake up from that the next day, I'm gonna experiment with it, and I'm gonna spend 8 hours looking at a stone and create it, and the one for an extra 10 feet of movement, and gift it to Granny.
Nice.
Thank you, Elijah.
You are very welcome. It'll make you even stealthier and sneakier and quicker.
Can you like keep making these things?
If I make another one, like the other one loses its effect. So if it gets like lost or taken, I can make another one, and that one that was lost or taken will just not work anymore.
Okay.
So while you're hanging out with Granny Glenda, Gil's going to approach. Hey, I noticed you've got that wizarding talent, and I thought maybe I could teach you some spells too while you're hanging out. And Gil's going to invite you down into the laboratory again, and he's going to show you. I saw that you really like transmutation magic. Well, this one, it's called an earthen grasp, and I'm pretty sure that we can't use the names attached to them.
Okay, I got
like
you.
Blank's special laughter, things like that.
Earth grass.
So, anyways, why don't you tell us about this earthen grasp and what it does?
Yeah, so he shows it to me, and I go ahead and it was a scroll that he gave me, or is he just teaching it to me?
He's demonstrating it to you,
So I'm
and
able
you're
to write it
learning it
down?
as a part of leveling up. So
Okay.
he's helping you add it to your spell book. For
Yeah,
sure.
so I'll add it to my spell book, and I'll focus on it. And basically, it feels to Elijah very similar to the Erupt Earth spell that he knows, except it's got like a tang to it, like a citrusy tang added to the Erupt Earth spell. And when he casts it on a section of ground similar like you would, in a safe area in the lab. And instead of like just the earth erupting that could like send somebody flying or hit them, it actually creates like a hand out of the earth material, and the hand is like grabbing at things around it, and can actually like hold on to somebody, do damage, and like keep them there.
Cool.
And then do damage to them like each round, like if they can't save out of it.
That's awesome. As the week passes and Elijah prepares for the coming festival, do you have any more dreams in which spells come to you in a manner similar to your learning the transmutation stone?
Yeah, one more another night. It's me recollecting the time that I jumped off that cliff, and Mary Poppins acid breath, like all those dudes. I think it was the bikers that I got with that. It was either the bikers or the gassers, but it was at that junkyard area. At the
I think it was Gassers.
Was it Valley Jam?
Might have been Bikers.
Yeah, it was.
It was at Valley Jam.
The woods at Valley Jam.
Yeah.
And I'm like seeing myself do that, but then like there's like a surge of power inside, and like the talisman starts glowing, and like I realized that like in my dream, like the damage done was like way worse, and when I wake up, I've kind of discovered a way like to enhance those type of attacks, whether it be acid or fire or anything like that. It's the spell is Elemental Bane.
Nice.
And if I cast it, it takes a 4th level slot, so it's super powerful, but it bumps up any attack I do with like one of those elemental attacks. Any of them adds like extra damage to it.
Cool.
Like I think it's 2d6 extra damage.
So Elijah grows in his power, becoming a more significant transmutation wizard, taking on elements of the arcane and the metaphysical as your powers grow. You are now a level 7 wizard with access to up to level 4 spells. The week passes, and you have a chance to do a little bit of shopping. Is there anything you'd like to buy this week?
There's nothing I was really interested in buying. Like I said, if I needed to help anybody out with some extra cash, I would do that.
Any scrolls, any potions, anything like that?
Oh, actually, yeah. I would like to to get some more health potions.
Okie
Revamp
dokie.
on those. Maybe like another 5 of those
Alright.
if they're available.
And let's see here. Let me look up what.
But my main interest at the mall that we were at was 150% the food court.
There is food of all sorts of varieties. So many smells.
Yeah.
You cannot even conceive. You went. I'm imagining you went with Granny Glinda. Perhaps everyone went.
Yeah, it could be like that same trip, but then maybe separate off. After I get my my potions.
Greater healing potions are available for sale, and they are 4d4 plus 4. They are going to be $100 each.
I'll take. Oops, pardon me. I will take 5 of them. No, I'll take 3 of them.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna get 3 healing potions, so that's $300. You said.
Yes, indeedy.
And then I'm going to drop a hard $100 in the food court.
All right. So you feast upon the fruit bats and the antelopes and the breakfast cereals and the wildebeests, and as a result,
Smoothies.
you're going to all. We'll say that you dropped a hard $100 and everyone got to enjoy this feast with you. The party, as a result of your food court shenanigans, will now be under the effects of the spell Hero's Feast. And that's going to begin at the start of our next episode when we arrive at the Burnfam Beach Gym and last for 24 hours. That is going to give several benefits. You're cured of all disease and poisons. You are immune to poison and to being frightened. And you make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Your hit point maximum increases by 2d10. So let's go ahead and roll. I'll roll that now. And we'll see how much everybody's HP increases. All right, so you're going to be going into the Burnfam Beach Jam with 14 additional HP.
Is that a modifier or like a complete override?
It is. It's actually a complete override
So we're permanently 14 more?
permanently for 24 hours.
Oh, okay. I see.
And that's it. So advantage on wisdom saving throws. Immune to being poisoned and frightened, and an additional 14 HP. So you guys spend the week bonding. You grow as individuals, you grow as a team. As the time passes and things grow closer, you see that the Powder Rangers begin to shift gears. They start to pack their vehicles. You see that alterations are being made to your van. It is being outfitted with aged bronze and copper sheet metal. Beautiful metalwork is being welded onto the outside in an almost steampunk, gothic fashion. The Happy Trickster's bus is turned into some sort of dystopian Mad Max vehicle, fit for beach travel and also unrecognizable as the chariot of Trace Keenos and the Happy Tricksters, known ne'er-do-wells and wanted gangsters. Gil begins to inform the group about the cult and culture of the Burnfam Beach Jam. He's like, now, it's important you know that you don't spend money here. Everything's bartered. Everything's traded. If you have any pretty rocks or stones, that's a good thing to bring. Favors are always great. Bacon, always prized. People love bacon at these parties. People are going to be intoxicated. People are going to be naked. There's going to be lewd acts. You got to be cool about it all, okay? You guys are coming as my guests. This is an invite-only shindig. I know we're after somebody. And we're going to take them out, but we're going to have to be cool about it, okay? We can't just go in guns blazing. If you happen to see the target, be clever, okay? Let's find a place to corner them. And for the love of God, just make sure we don't interrupt the effigy burn. Do you guys have any questions before we move forward into this thing? Tomorrow's the big day.
This is not my first rodeo.
I just some good rest, I think we'll be in. I'll be right as rain. That was another hard-fought battle.
Well, Gil, I do have some questions. This target, what are we looking at?
What do you mean?
I've been paying attention to my crossbow for the last hour or so.
You guys are after... Oh, God, all right, listen.
Just say it again. I don't think Drake heard you.
Listen, okay, the only way that you're going to truly free your friend is to take out Love and Lust.
Love and Lust, yes, the snake lady.
The snake woman who you told me ended up being a dark god.
She is.
All right, so you're going to try to split Love and Lust so that you can defeat Lust and empower Love back to the pantheon of good gods so that there can be balance in the universe.
With the Sword of Division.
We do not have a Sword of Division. No. You're going to have to figure out how to split her. I do not have a plan for that.
And they're trying to summon...
They're trying to summon pride, I think. Again, this is all based on information that you gave me based on your conversation with Festivius, the god of partying. But I think he told you that the Burn people have Parker's ashes and that they've fallen deep into worship of Pride, who is one of the dark gods. And if you can keep my fellow Burners from being too prideful, then hopefully we can prevent them from summoning the dark demonic god of pride into the universe via the effigy burn.
Granny, we gonna get your grandson's ashes back this week.
Lord, I hope so. I've been chasing them for a while now, and I just really want them back. It's all I've ever wanted.
Or we're gonna get all of their ashes and have that instead.
I mean, two things can be true.
What do you think she's doing with them? Parker, right? Parker's your boy.
Parker's my grandson. I'm trying to reanimate him, you know this.
I think it's the innocence of it that it really allows that beast to be used.
I'm saying, why do you think they got him? What do you think they're doing with him?
Summoning pride.
As you say all that, Tommy sort of speaks up from the corner. He's like, well, you guys know, like, there's a lot of magic in anything from our age. And anything you brought back from the past is inundated with incredible time magic. Like, I'm sure you know that, right?
Like my bandolier?
Like my lost book?
Well, yeah, I mean, any item that you put significance into, especially, like, that's going to increase it. So you lost a book, huh?
Very powerful wizard's book. Apparently my relative.
They can use it to try to open portals between dimensions, all this time magic, and I'm sure they're trying to get the dark gods to walk through, you know?
They did say they were going to try to summon gluttony with my book, is what Festivus had said.
Holy shit. Bro, this is serious. We got to get to her. We got to get these fucking ashes. We got to get your book. I didn't realize how important they're using it to summon gods through portals. Tommy?
It's intense stuff. You want some of this leftover chicken teriyaki from the mall?
Fuck yeah.
It's delicious.
As you guys finish up your leftovers, Gil goes and continues packing. The crew is ready to rock into the next day. And we'll pick up there next time on the next thrilling episode of Wooks and Warlocks.
We're gonna go hook up that episode.
I know. I spent a lot of money on it, though.
Yeah.
Round and around in the tunnel when it's dark we go, searching through the rubble for what once was spark like a shout in the night. And the sight of the past, it can fill us with fear all night, though we know the wheel comes back after time. Oh, sweet time. And the soul will rise from the ashes, we will climb as we shout.
Wooks and Warlocks features Anthony Ryan as Xanthor, the Bugfolk Ranger, Jesse Bennett as Granny Glenda, half-fox folk rogue, John Lombardi as Elijah Woodstone, the Elk Folk Wizard, and Trey Miller as Dungeon Master. Intro and outro feature the song Flight of the Phoenix by Tirefire. Recording and editing are completed in-house by the Wooks and Warlocks team, recording consultation provided by Adam Horwitz. You can find us online at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord under the name Wooks and Warlocks. Links can be found in the description. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Wooks and Warlocks, please contact us at wooksandwarlocks@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
Dark clouds brewing a storm deep in the sky. Words spoken in anger, vibrate like a neon sign in the mind's eye, multiplied by time and time again. It's those we love that we lose when we struggle with what's inside. Just hoping for hope, something to ward off the fright and the soul will rise from the ashes.